Today on UT Today, the Senate passes a bill to cut funding from the Office of Diversity, how students reacted and what happens next.
And athletes came together to honor Xavion Dobson's memory the same night another tragedy struck the same community.
And Neyland Stadium was decked out in orange and white again. We have your highlights from the game in sports.
Welcome to UT Today. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jack Keenan.
And I'm Haley Burton. There was a lot of chanting on UT's campus on Tuesday. About 100 students walked out of class to protest a bill that would cut funding from UT's Office of Diversity. The mass exit happened during class time. Students dressed in black and held signs about different diversity issues. A Senate committee followed the House's lead and passed resolutions to take funding and put it toward minority scholarships.
We really just need them to back off and let UT run itself because students, faculty, and administration are who needs to make decisions about what's best for campus.
The bill will now go to the Governor Bill Haslam's office for review. He will then make the final decision. UT leaders say they are disappointed that the bill has gotten this far and that the campus will continue to support diversity.
Well, just months after the tragic shooting death of young Xavion Dobson, a second gang-related shooting has devastated the Knoxville community.
As UT Today's Alfred Taliaferro reports, it comes after continued attempts to stop gang violence in the area. Alfred?
Thanks, Haley and Jack. The shooting death of Xavion Dobson sent chills across the country, and now his younger cousin has been killed in a similar violent attack. Police responded to Danny Mayfield Park, right across from Maynard Elementary School, after reports of gunfire between partygoers and the occupants of the two nearby vehicles. 12-year-old Juwan Latham was sitting in the back seat of his father's Chevy Tahoe when the fight broke out. He was rushed to the UT Medical Center emergency room after a shot to the head. Just after 11 o'clock, Latham died from his injuries. The community continues to mourn the loss of the young individual. A candlelight vigil was held in his honor Sunday night, and friends from Bearden Middle School honored Juwan on Thursday with cards and well wishes before his funeral at Overcoming Believers Church. Knoxville police have detained multiple people involved in the incident. The VFL Albert Hainsworth even reached out on Facebook saying that he will offer a $5,000 reward to anyone with information leading to the arrest of those responsible. Delandra Porter, Latham's mother, says that Juwan had dreams of someday playing in the NBA, and after dealing with the death of his cousin, Xavion, in December, he held an aberration for his cousin's actions. The night of the shooting, Latham attended the Bobby Mays celebrity game in honor of his cousin. It was supposed to be a day of celebration as Fulton High School played host to the 4th annual Bobby Mays celebrity game. It was an opportunity for fans to see their favorite former Vols and even see, take pictures, and get autographs from a soon-to-be Hall of Famer such as Allen Iverson.
You know, Bobby been doing some great stuff out here, and you know, that's like family. That's like my little brother. So every time he do it, I come out here every year. Man, we got a lot of stuff going on in the world these days, and you know, giving back is important. You know, that y'all don't have a pro basketball team here. You know, so we able to bring guys in that they wouldn't normally get a chance to see.
There's really no words really can describe the feeling, but I just saw it. You know, when we walked in the gym, and some of those kids that grew up on AI. When I mean grew up on it. Maybe YouTube them, the real young ones, because they wasn't out when he was playing, but the older ones, really understand, who he is and what he stood for on the court and playing every game like it's his last. And a week ago, just got the word that he's headed to the Hall of Fame. And so to be here in Knoxville a week after that is huge. And, things like that just don't happen every day.
Not only was the game set out to inspire the youth, this year the game represented a bigger cause, honoring 15-year-old Xavion Dobson, who was shot and killed last December, shielding 3 young girls from a stray of bullets. As you may remember, the story gained national attention when even our president tweeted out his respect for Dobson. Now, a game that was created to give a community hope is remembered as one of the last living images we have of young Juwan Latham. Yeah, I reached out to Bobby Mays after the passing of Juwan Latham, and he said that, quote, Latham was one of the first kids in line for the game, and to find out he was shot and killed moments after the game, no words can explain that feeling. He continued by saying that the purpose of the celebrity game was to prevent violence and to honor Xavion Dobson. He hopes to see that the community creates a safer environment so that, quote, bad things don't happen to innocent children. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Alfred. Well, a gas leak evacuated some chemistry classrooms on the Hill Tuesday night. It happened at Dabney Bueller Hall on the Hill. The Knoxville Fire Department and Knoxville Utilities Board searched the buildings to contain the leak. UTPD was also on the scene. The area is open now, but workers will be making several repairs. Gas will be turned off at science buildings on the Hill until those repairs are completed. Now, students were informed of the leak through the UT Alert system, which sends texts and emails to all students about emergency situations on campus.
Also, a group of high school students graduated this week after creating their own businesses. The Young Entrepreneurs Academy held their graduation ceremony at the Knoxville Chamber in Market Square on Tuesday. The nationwide program teaches students skills in entrepreneurship and business over 30 weeks. UT's Haslam College of Business helps sponsor the program. Fernando Blevins is a graduate who will be UT freshman this fall. He says that finishing the program was a huge accomplishment for him and his friends.
Just starting from scratch, because we started with simply an idea and we built on that, and actually ended up getting it in a partnership. So it's 3 of us and we all joined in, pitched again ideas, and we made this different business. So to come from that all the way to now where we actually are running a business and things like that is really a huge accomplishment, and I'm really excited about it. So.
Now, graduates received a plaque for their achievements and enjoyed refreshments after the ceremony.
Well, final projects, exams, graduation, the last few weeks of class are upon us.
They sure are. We're taking a look at what students are doing to prepare and de-stress. And a show captivated viewers this week at the Tennessee Theater with a modern art performance, all with the help of some UT students.
The fascinating thing about the brain is that it's largely unknown. You really have to go to the lab to gain practical experience and to discover the unknown yourself. Being the first person in the world to know something about the brain, that's when it gets really exciting.
All right, but we're only buying what you can wear out. Really? The class is called Campaigns. We take everything we've learned so far in PR and put it all together. The client is Autism Breakthrough of Knoxville. Having the experience of pitching to a real-life client is great knowledge to have going into a real life.
Welcome back. Finals are coming up in a few weeks, and many students are getting their caps and gowns ready for graduation
Oh,
day.
you're right. It's coming up. Well, UT Today reporter Lindsay Limerick talked to a student planning to walk across the stage next month.
Meet Catherine Manning, a senior at UTK majoring in kinesiology with a minor in child and family studies. She's got some pretty exciting news.
I graduate May 14th, 2016.
Manning is one of the lucky ones. She already has a plan.
I am going to occupational therapy school, probably at University of Alabama, Birmingham, maybe Fort Lauderdale, but yeah, plan to get my master's in occupational therapy.
And while she is excited for her future, she knows there is a big challenge ahead.
Grad school, it's going to be difficult, and I'm not going to have any free time.
But what about the thousands of other students graduating UTK in just a few short weeks? Last year, 51% of the graduating class had a full-time job to attend to after graduation. 20% had been accepted into grad school. The other 16% was still looking for employment. Stephanie Kitt, the director of the Center for Career Development, says that that's normal.
It takes several months, which I know feels frustrating, but it's a process to find a job, and you need to do a lot of networking and meeting people and doing more than just answering ads that you see in an online job board.
55% of the graduating class was counseled by the Career Services Center in some way. Kitt says that the center is there to help students and that there is a clear path for any graduating seniors without jobs.
So if they don't have a job lined up, if they haven't been to the Center for Career Development, I would say they need to come here first and meet with their college consultant, so somebody who works specifically with their major, and make sure that their resume is in top shape, maybe work on a cover letter, and then talk about their job search strategy and how they plan to find some potential opportunities.
And while some students are working to find jobs, others are reflecting on how they'll miss Rocky Top.
This has been my home for the last 4 years, and now I'm going to have to start over somewhere new and get to leave all my friends behind.
Reporting for UT Today, I'm Lindsay Limerick.
And Stephanie Kitt also says that alumni can come to the Career Center up to a year after graduation. The center employs special counselors for graduates.
As several Vols are leaving this semester, there are also many more beginning their first college classes in just a few short months. Every year, UT's freshman class is smarter and larger, and this year is no exception. With UT shooting to be in the top 25 of public universities around the country, you would imagine that it would be harder for incoming freshmen to be accepted, but that may not be the case. 2/3 of students that apply to UT are admitted, which is a record number. Current freshman Carrie Grace Pody says most of her friends were accepted.
I would assume that they're trying to be more competitive, but I've just not heard a whole lot of people really getting denied by the university.
Pody's advice to incoming freshmen is that it's not just about your test scores, it's also what you do outside of the classroom.
A lot of people have high GPAs, a lot of people make good ACT scores, but what it is your involvement and your commitment to being a student.
Starting in 2015, students who are admitted into the University of Tennessee receive an acceptance letter and even get to hear Rocky Top. Director of Undergraduate Academic Advancement, Dr. Tom Broadhead, says it's not necessarily getting harder to be accepted into UT, but they do see a difference in the applicants each year.
Each year we also see that the overall quality of our applicant group is increasing, which is great.
He also emphasizes that the card itself is a personal message to an applicant and their families.
Who would not want to decide to enroll at UT if they got a music card that played Rocky Top?
Along with a high retention rate from freshman to sophomore year, UT has the highest graduation rate of any public college or university in the state of Tennessee. For UT Today, I'm Haley Burton. The next step for upcoming freshmen is to attend orientation, create their schedules, and set up housing plans. Freshmen starting this year on a traditional 4-year plan will graduate in 2020.
Well, unfortunately, finals are coming up in just a few short weeks, and that means, yes, more stress for students. Thankfully, there are plenty of healthy resources out there to help. As spring semester begins to close, University of Tennessee students are preparing for one of their toughest weeks of the year, finals week. For some students, the difference between passing and failing a class is dependent on their final exams. Students have different ways to prepare for this critical week. Some prefer to study the old-fashioned way.
Section to section, I can just mark in my own notes where I need to pay attention to, and then I've written it all down, read it, heard it, so by then it's already half memorized anyway.
Other students say technology helps them more with their study efforts.
I actually make Quizlets, which is like the online study set, and I have the app on my phone, so I can just while I'm walking around campus, I can just scroll through it and look at it that way if I don't have time.
Now, studying isn't everything for students during finals week. It's also important to remember how to de-stress. One way students can do that is by joining an intramural sports team.
A lot of the intramurals help with stress, meet friends that way. And then I also go to Puppy Zone, which is near West Town, and play with some puppies for a little while.
I really like to play video games. That's the go-to thing. If something is just frying my brain, I know I can turn that off and turn the game on.
According to Pew Internet Research, about 70% of college students play video games at least once in a while, making it one of the most common ways students relax. Counselor Chelsea Birch, however, warns that video games can easily distract students.
Video game addiction in 18, 19-year-olds is on the rise as well, and it's because it's little effort, possibly big gain, high stimulation.
Experts say working out, having a balanced diet, and of course plenty of studying is the perfect formula for conquering finals week. UT has established some rules to alleviate stress on students during finals. UT policy says that students can't have more than one final exam in a day.
The Tennessee Theater hosted an internationally acclaimed dance company this week. UT's Cultural Attractions Committee presented Pilobolus, which specializes in modern dance. The group has presented 120 art pieces in 65 countries. During the show, performers used their bodies to create art with dance. UT students working with the committee got to help plan the event. Other students got to see the show for free.
Well, coming up in UT Today's sports, Bristol Weekend brought out many race fans, but UT students are looking forward to another game that will be there this fall.
And Team 120 took to Neyland Stadium for the first time this year. Highlights on the orange and white game are coming up.
The energy of Tennessee reaches far beyond our campus. As Lady Vol and academic All-American, Candace Parker set new standards. Now she electrifies fans in LA. Keeping the lights on there and across the country is the work of Professor Elu Liu. Her research on the power grid puts UT at the forefront of this national issue. Candace Parker and Elu Liu, two exceptional women. Both chose Tennessee. Big Orange, big ideas.
Oh, shoot. It's Friday. All right.
As noted on the syllabus, every Friday is Big Orange Friday.
Today is Friday! Yeah, come on.
Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me what day it is?
It's Friday!
If you're a Tennessee Vol, every Friday is Big Orange Friday.
All right.
Well, it's been a big week for sports. The orange and white game was last weekend.
Yeah, that's what you got to go to.
I did.
Did
you?
Jealous. No,
oh, man.
Unfortunately.
You missed out. Bristol Weekend, softball, and new coaches. It's been a big week for sports.
It sure has, and Channing Murphy has our sports highlight for the week. Channing?
Thanks, Jack and Haley. If you are planning on watching Tennessee men's or women's basketball this upcoming season, you'll see two new faces on the bench. Former Tulsa assistant coach Michael Schwartz will hold the same position as he joins men's head coach Rick Barnes and his staff. Schwartz was a former graduate assistant at Texas under Barnes from 1999 to 2001. And Lady Vols head coach Holly Warlick added former West Virginia University assistant coach Sharona Reeves to her staff after Warlick and former assistant Kyra Elsie mutually parted ways. Reeves will also serve as the team's recruiting coordinator. Tennessee softball tied a season high with 3 home runs in a 9-0 run rule against Furman on Wednesday. Tennessee's Lexi Overstreet led the way while going 2 for 3 with 3 RBI. She also recorded her 10th and 11th home runs of the season. She's racking up those homers, but that's not her ultimate goal.
It's really good. You know, I just go up there. I'm not really trying to hit the home runs. I just go up there and try to have a good at bat and see good pitches. So hopefully they keep coming.
I think it's just a matter of they've seen what the pitcher's throwing, and they do a good job of coming back and giving each other feedback about what the pitcher's doing. And then it's just being a little bit more patient and waiting till they get a good pitch.
Tennessee third baseman Nick Senzel was added to the 2016 USA Baseball Midseason Golden Spikes Award watch list earlier this week. Senzel joins 59 other amateur players competing for the award. Before the Vanderbilt series, Senzel led the Vols with 46 runs scored, 15 doubles, and a .477 on-base percentage. The winner will be announced June 30th in Los Angeles. NASCAR had their Sprint Cup Series Food City 500 last weekend, and a famous VFL was also there to see it. That's Peyton Manning. However, UT Today reporter David Ball says that Vols have much more to look forward to in Bristol this fall.
Bristol Motor Speedway, also known as Thunder Valley, and for good reason. This place is loud. Last Sunday was the big race, full of fast cars and pit crews, but come this fall, the racetrack pavement will turn into the green grass of the gridiron. For Battle at Bristol, September 10th, 2016. And did you see that? The staggering video board known as Colossus, it'll be used for the game and is giving Neyland's Jumbotron a run for its money. Also adding to the hype, this guy, Peyton Manning. The Vol legend was Dale Jr.'s guest and got to enjoy his first race. With all that excitement, fans and UT students that I spoke to are already talking football.
I think it's going to be a close game. You know, it's early in the season, so both teams will be a little rusty. But I think Tennessee's got the talent, and we're going to take it home.
Other fans seem to disagree.
Go Tech! Go Hokies!
I've been coming here to Bristol Motor Speedway since I was 6 years old. All right? We've been talking about this since I was 6 years old, about having Tennessee and Virginia Tech play, because it's a neutral site.
For now, the last great Coliseum looks like this, but hopefully this fall, it'll look a little like this. In Bristol, for UT Today, I'm David Ball.
Carl Edwards took home his first win of the season at the race, followed by Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Kurt Busch. It was Edwards' 26th win of his career. Team 120 debuted at the Orange and White game last weekend, and this will be Coach Butch Jones' fourth season leading the team. Former Vols are saying that new players have a lot of talent, and there's a lot to look forward to. ESPN's preseason football power index has the Vols winning the SEC East by a landslide. You know, many are wondering whether or not the Vols can live up to those expectations. And according to some former players, there's one thing that can hold them back.
The only thing that can hold them back is themselves, because we got a whole lot of talent, we got great coaches. If they trust and believe in it, they're going to go far.
And current Tennessee safety Todd Kelly Jr. thinks the secondary can do that.
As strong as we want to be, I feel like it can be one of our strengths. You know, a lot of people saw it as a weakness coming into this season, but after today, I'm sure people can realize that we can be as good as we want to be.
As long as they believe in themselves, that's all that matters. Because when you step on that field, if you're confident, it shows in your play. They prepared themselves for this moment, and I believe they're ready.
Tennessee fans might be ready too, but they'll have to wait about 4 more months until Butch Jones and his team take the field in August for fall camp. Over 67,000 fans showed up for that game, and the defense beat the offense 70-63. Now we're going to bring in UT Today sports analyst Josh Miller, who was at the Orange and White game. Josh, how was the defense?
That's right, Channing. The defense was very good. Todd Kelly Jr. had an interception against Josh Dobbs, but the main story was the linebackers. Jalen Reeves-Maben and Darren Kirkland Jr. are the two linebackers that Coach Jones has been looking at. But they also need a third linebacker. That name is Cortez Sapp. He had 9 total tackles in the game and a tackle for a loss. And although the defense was very good, the offense looked to be in rhythm, and it was a great kickoff. The offense looked to be in rhythm, and they even had a competition among the quarterbacks. The 2016 Orange and White game was exciting to say the least. 67,000 plus showed up to support the Big Orange and see where Team 120 can go in 2016. Now coming into the game, there were questions about the timing between Josh Dobbs and the receivers because of recent injuries. The offense struggled early on as Dobbs' pass was tipped and then intercepted by Todd Kelly Jr. The 3 quarterbacks, Zach Jancic, Quentin Dormady, and Josh Dobbs, also held a quarterback competition in which they would have to throw certain passes and would earn 2 points for each pass that they completed. Dobbs initially had the lead by 2 points, but Jancic and Dormady both tied for first place after all 3 quarterbacks reenacted Peyton Manning's famous pass against Georgia in 1996. Dobbs and Jones both spoke on the timing between the receivers and emphasized accuracy.
So, Josh, there were a lot of good things that happened in this game, especially the offense. Now, one of the biggest concerns this year is whether or not the Vols are going to have the deep ball. They only had 5 passes of 25 yards or more for the entire last season. So how are they going to fix that problem this year?
Well, like you said, with injuries to the offense, there are 2 names that have been stepping up in spring training. Both of those names are Preston Williams and Jeff George. Jeff George is an early enrollee, and he is a 4-star receiver, according to ESPN. Now, along with them, Juwan Jennings, Josh Smith, Josh Malone, and tight ends Jason Kroom and Ethan Wolf combined, that air attack will be deadly in 2016. And as you said, Channing, the Vols are projected to win the SEC East and make it to Atlanta next season.
So we're just going to try to see if they can fix that problem. And there's a lot of hype going into next season. We're just going to have to wait until the fall to see how they do. Thank you so much, Josh, for that analysis. And that's it for sports for this week. Back to you, Haley and Jack.
Channing, Josh, thank you both so much. Great job as always. Well, athletes got dressed up this week for their very own award show. Who took home Miss Tennessee and Best Athlete? That's coming up.
In the classroom, you're taught concepts based on equations and diagrams, but when you can actually get outside and see what's happening and see what you're learning in the classroom, that's the real learning experience. Learning is getting your hands dirty and getting your feet wet and applying those concepts.
The University of Tennessee is a place where minds meet and exchange ideas. Peyton Manning's comprehension skills are widely known. Professor George Farr studies materials down to 1/billionth of a meter. He's advanced everything from microcircuitry to cancer research. The exchange of ideas isn't always predictable.
Blue 58, Omaha.
But at Tennessee, it's all about the possibilities.
Omaha? Really?
My major is computer engineering. I'm a rising sophomore, and I'm currently an intern at Oak Ridge National Lab. You know, they're experts in what they're doing, so being able to work with them, learn from them, is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
The energy at Tennessee reaches far beyond our campus. As Lady Vol and academic All-American, Candace Parker set new standards. Now she electrifies fans in LA. Keeping the lights on there and across the country is the work of Professor Elu Liu. Her research on the power grid puts UT at the forefront of this national issue. Candace Parker and Elu Liu, 2 exceptional women. Both chose Tennessee. Big Orange, big ideas.
Welcome back.
Some UT athletes put on their best suits and high heels for the Volskers this week. The award show recognizes athletes for their achievements in their respective sport. Awards included Freshman of the Year, Best Supporting Role, and Most Inspirational. Mauricio Robles and Felicia Brown took home Male and Female Athlete of the Year awards. Women's basketball senior Drea Carter won Miss Tennessee, a title well deserved.
I just want to thank my teammates. I wouldn't have made it through any of these years without y'all. You are all so supportive with everything that I do in the classroom, with the Tennessee School for the Deaf, and on the court. So my hat goes off to you all, because I wouldn't be up here without y'all.
The athletes were nominated by their coaches, but winners were chosen by athlete vote. The show was presented by the athletic department.
Well, sadly, next week is going to be our final show of the season.
It's gone by so fast. We even have some bloopers to show you, so
Plenty
be sure to tune in.
Thank you for watching.